Hello, Chris here, and this is going to be a review on the Patel Vintage 1992 Deluxe Toro. Comes in a rather nice tube. I got this from a friend. Make sure to store it way up. This evening I decided I would have a couple of beers, eat something good, smoke a good cigar after, and we're at the cigar part now. It's a pretty nice tube. No experiment designs though, and you won't see me complaining too much. So I saw a Cigar Inspector review on the cigar. Sorry, my voice is not doing too great lately. And the note says that it's a Dominican Nicaraguan filler, Nicaraguan binder, and Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. We'll see how that comes out in taste, but they get good reviews. You know, I think it's gonna be quite a nice cigar. I don't see it too much myself. This is one of the first times I'm looking at it. I like it. Nice and simple. Black and gold go well together. Not quite the La Paz standards, but oh, it's hard to even make that joke. I quite like it. It is very, very solid. Like, this is a nice dark oily wrapper. For a Sumatran wrapper, it's probably a little bit darker than I expect. I would expect this from something like Nicaraguan, of course. You always tend to see that thing from those cigars. Feels very solid. Looks quite well packed at the end. Nothing all too mixed in there. Looks like a fairly solid cigar. Again, sorry about my throat not being too good, but it's either this or just not make a review at all. Let's cut this slightly above the shoulder. Probably not enough. That's fine. Yeah, it's all fairly solid. Smells also a little bit cedary. There is a cedar lining in the tube, as you would usually expect. The usual little bit of a light cigar must coming from this, but you always experience that when you dry puff cigars. It's not like a good indication of the taste, but if it's a particularly strong cigar, sometimes you can pick that up. So to keep going along with the basic theme of this review, just going to light it. I really shouldn't be lighting this towards you because I can't see it. Don't really know how close I am or if I'm just completely shooting off to the other side. So I have to get a little bit closer here. Do I have my other lighter nearby? I don't think I do. Should be around here. You can see that fine. That's quite pleasant. Let me just explain in a second. As I usually do, I start a stopwatch. I forgot to get it up this time. There we go. Just so I can time how long the cigar lasts. Feels incredibly light. I don't mean that in terms of the taste. I mean that is in the construction of the cigar itself. It feels like you're not getting a big weft of smoke. I basically cut no tobacco off at all when I cut off the cap. Lots of air coming through this. A little bit more loosely packed than I would have guessed from how solid it is. There's no very strong flavor hitting you directly. Nothing straight on the roof of your mouth. Nothing strong like that really hitting you. But in the aftertaste, like right away, it feels like just a basic light cigar, more generic tobaccos, and then the aftertaste is something a lot steeper. Definitely like rock bottom earthy. Again, I'm struggling to speak today. It's getting quite bad. I'm hard to understand at the best of times. Yeah, nothing going in the roof of your mouth, but right at the front. I want to say it's a little bit nutty. Of course, it's just rock bottom earth though. I would say that's probably, I mean, what are the binders? We're looking at Dominican Nicaraguan filler, Nicaraguan binder, Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. Perhaps it's the binder leaving that taste. You know, that's almost a little bit grass-like. It's hard to tell when it's like really steep in terms of deep flavor and aftertaste. Definitely all other flavors tend to get muted a little bit. I would say a little bit of grass, tiny bit of nuttiness. Kind of standard flavors, but with a bit of extra kick in them. So far, it's seeming quite good. Something about this feels like it's just not burning quite perfectly though. I don't know what it is, but it really feels like you're not really drawing too much. Like a cigar of this size definitely should be giving you a bit more oomph, you know what I mean. Seems to be burning fine though. I do think I might be encouraged to over smoke this at some point to get a little bit more. That's a little bit of a chewy texture coming in now. So far so good. I think it's maybe a little bit on the less of a kick than I was hoping to get. But you know, maybe it's gonna pick up, pretty sure it will. It does have good reviews from people I've, you know, agreed with reviews from quite a long time. So I do have high hopes for it. That is pleasant though. I think I have a few things to say about the cigar, but I'll talk about that later. A lot of people have been asking me to review Rocky Patel, various other brands that aren't quite as common around here. A lot more other common ones, but it's been recommended as a very good brand. So been meaning to review one. I do enjoy them as a whole. So this is going to be that review. So this has been a long enough ramble. I'm going to get back to you when I've smoked a little bit. Maybe gotten a third down, maybe 2/3, maybe at the end. That might be when I do my segments. We'll see how it goes. I'll just make clips as we go. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, for me, 15 minutes. For you, 1 second. $33 into the cigar. Maybe about a third. It might not look it from the ash. If you're not too experienced with cigars, as you smoke, the ash will be smaller than the amount you smoked. So really, we smoked out about here, maybe. So definitely a third in. It's definitely picked up quite a bit. I think it's very, very I've been enjoying it, is all I can really say. Quite a bit. I would say probably the taste left in the front of your mouth is the same, but there's definitely a bit more, you know, power to it now. Like when you smoke it, it doesn't feel like there's so much air coming through it. It feels like you actually are smoking it. picked up a little bit after the start. Definitely, my throat's going again. I will learn how to speak English one of these days, but that day's not today. Definitely a little bit of a coffee sort of taste, a deep coffee. I'm no expert in different kinds of coffees because I only have like a few. I'm not a big coffee person. Some brands, Dictador, whatnot. Some of the worst coffee I've ever had was actually Dictador coffee. It was terrible. But that kind of coffee, they'll always recommend, you know, instead of having an alcohol with a cigar, you could have a coffee. You could drink whatever the hell you want. Like, pairing a cigar is almost kind of a sentimental value, really. It's not really going to help your taste, but if you're going to have a good cigar, you might as well have a good drink to go with it. Just, you know, more enjoyment at the same time, really. But it doesn't matter. I felt like beers tonight, so cheap crappy beer, but that's all I've got. Not much else to say, just those few sentences. You know, the front taste is the same. Still that kind of deep earthy taste. A little bit of grass, a little bit almost chewy nutty. But the coffee is starting to kick in on the main taste, and you're actually getting, you know, half decent tobacco taste. A little bit of strength is probably towards the medium, I would say. It's can't really say it's light. It started off a little bit light, but I can't really say it's light at all, especially in flavour. I would say this is probably an all-round medium as it is right now. If it keeps picking up, it might be a bit different. That is a very nice cigar, actually. Quite happy with it. I've heard from reading a few reviews on this, it's actually quite a cheap cigar. For a premium cigar anyway, it's quite cheap. And I'm a big fan of cheap premium cigars, or cigars that are budget cigars that are pretty much as good as premium cigars, to be honest. If they do have the taste to back it up. And, you know, a very good price point is always something when it comes to cigars, because they can get quite expensive. You know, you're spending all your money on them. Well, I do, but quite a nice ash. Burns a little bit off there, but overall quite white. Still holding on after inch and a bit. No expert on that, but so far so good for a Deluxe Toro size. I'm quite happy with this. So 37 minutes in, I don't want to keep making really long clips on this one. So when we get to the next third, I'll make another clip then. So I'll see you in a second. So this is going to be the last section of this review. I could have made a section earlier, but nothing too much changed. So we're getting towards the end of the cigar. Gonna make this section here, so got a little bit of smoke after the review. I could end it whenever I want, which is something I quite like to do. Sometimes I end cigars, you know, with even 10 minutes early. It could be quite common. Sometimes you just stop the feeling, but I am definitely enjoying this one. Finished my beer though, so on the Pepsi. The real hard shit. So a little bit of flavor change. It's kind of I want to say it's handled the tar buildup well. You always, towards the end of the cigar, it gets a little bit stronger. You could also get a little bit of tar from the moisture in the end of the cigar. It's definitely handled it quite well. You're getting a little bit of bitterness on the tongue. Kind of I wouldn't say very strong, but maybe deep flavors. Definitely left behind, you know, right on the tongue, front of the mouth. Not quite as much on the palate anymore. I would say the flavor in this does still have a little bit, quite a lot of body to it. Wouldn't quite say it's on the stronger side though. Overall, I would say it starts off light and it goes into a medium cigar. It's been very good the whole way through. I like the flavors. Nothing special, nothing too fancy, but all quite good. It's definitely a well constructed cigar, definitely well planned with the tobaccos. They tend to, they're definitely, along some good lines. Definitely getting it right here, something that it's a sweet spot. Not just for me, but I think this is, I don't want to say a generic premium cigar, but it's definitely, if you're thinking of a good cigar, this is the kind of thing you could possibly think of. If you're thinking towards the lighter, medium bodied side. Definitely very tasty though. Well, I'd rate this 4 out of 5. Nothing exceptional. None of these cigars it's not one of those cigars that completely blows me out of the water. La Flor Dominicana did that. A few of those. But this is about where we've gone to with this. 4 or 5, good recommendation. If these are available to you, definitely get them. A friend sent me this, so I can't really get more. But if I did have more, I would definitely be enjoying them. So that's basically it for this review. I'm going to go finish this cigar on my own time. Burn's been very consistent, by the way. It's definitely well constructed. So yeah, that's about my entire verdict on the cigar. Sorry it's been an hour half-assed review. All my reviews are kind of like that these days, where I just want to start recording when I smoke a cigar and just give my complete honest opinion as I sit and enjoy it. There's nothing to you don't enjoy a cigar too much when you put a lot of effort into reviewing it, other than recording and giving your honest opinion. You don't want to do all these extra things. You want to sit and enjoy. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, comment. I reply to pretty much any comment that I can reply to. I also have a Patreon in my description in case you want to support me. I've got the Facebook page. I post content there in case you want to see that. Aside from that, it's basically me done here. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.